Hey everybody, welcome, welcome to Hidden Horror. Thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate that. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Hidden Horror. How are you guys doing today? How are you feeling? How is your weekend going? So, today I'm here. We're talking about Sean Combs again. Um, we are going to recap trial days 8 through 14. So, as I explained to you, I really don't like talking about S abusers, S assaults. So, I don't want to have an intense look into this criminal prosecution. However, I do want to bring you some updates, let you know what's going on, nothing too intense. So, I am going to go over the information. I'm just not going extremely deep into the information, okay? Sean Combs, for decades now, he has been not just a celebrity, but he is really a mega superstar. He's been an icon, he's been a fashion icon, he's been in the business of making people stars, giving them opportunities, bringing people young up into the music industry. And he's a known artist himself, right? So, with all of these allegations, he has both civil lawsuits and then he has this criminal prosecution going on right now. He has a lot of different cases, and it's very hard to cover them all. But I have been focusing on a couple of cases. I focused on the Cassie Ventura case. I talked a little bit about some of the other civil lawsuits, like the lawsuit with Joy Dickerson. He had a lawsuit with the two unknown unnamed women. He has a little Rod lawsuit going on, and he has this criminal prosecution. He had a lawsuit with Jay-Z Sean Carter, that was dismissed. He had a lawsuit with a man out of the state of Michigan. Um, I believe that may be on hold right now, but initially there was like a default judgment entered against him. He was able to get that dismissed, and now proceeding on with that. So I don't know if that's on hold because I haven't seen anything recently. I think his name was Mr. Derek. Oh, I can't remember his last name. It was with a C, I believe, but it was out of the state of Michigan. So Mr. Combs has a lot of legal matters going on right now. Okay, he is in the thick of it. So this is just one of many of his cases. So I am going to just lightly go over the trial days. We're looking now at trial days 8 through 14. The prior video from yesterday looked at trial days 1 through 7. We had a jury seated, and we had Cassie Ventura testifying for 2 days. And now we're picking up on trial day 8, and we're going to go all the way through trial day 14. Um, and I guess we can get started. I want to let you know that uh, beautifully, wonderfully, um, we have Fox 5 New York covering the case, giving us these little snippets of day to day activity. If you would like to watch more of an in depth review, because this trial is not being televised, so people are having to go to the trial, collect notes, data, and then self report, come out to you, do the hard labor, and self report. There's some coverages going on with different content creators. Um, so if you want something a little bit more in depth, more detailed, more personal to their experience, what's happening in the courtroom, who's in the courtroom, who's testifying, what witnesses, what are they wearing, How are they acting? How are they feeling? Did they encounter them? Did they speak to them? Did they interview them, etc.? There's other content creators that are going in depth, and some of them are on site. Okay, so please check them out. I'm just going to give a brief overview from the notes from the hard work of Fox 5 New York. Okay, thank you, Fox 5 New York, for doing this hard work, because everybody can't get to this trial. Everybody is not stationed in this tri-state area where they could get there. Even get a seat is probably hard, and they're using overflow rooms to have more people in, and they're broadcasting into those rooms. So great job. So I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, let's see if I am able to. Because I had showed you before, they had some really, really nice artwork going on there. So I wanted to continue to show you some of the artwork. Very nice artwork from day to day. Okay. So we're going to day 8. Okay. So day 8 was on May 15th, and it's Cassie's cross examination. Okay. So this will be the defense talking to her, asking her questions. Okay. And remember, Mrs. Ventura, she is appearing to be in her 3rd trimester of pregnancy. So this is a very sensitive time for her. She could be a little emotional if she's having, feelings of recounting all of this. And typically, when you're getting cross examined, they don't go easy on you. Okay. So let's get started. During her first day of cross examination, Cassie testified that both she and Diddy struggled with drug addiction, revealing his 2012 painkiller overdose. Okay, so she's saying that both herself and Sean Combs, they were addicted to drugs allegedly, and that in 2012, there was a painkiller overdose allegedly of Mr. Combs. The defense acknowledged Combs' physical abuse, but argued it constituted domestic violence rather than trafficking, aiming to portray their relationship as toxic and troubled rather than part of a criminal enterprise. Okay, so let me scroll up a little bit and get you another picture. Okay, so now we're moving to day 9. This would be May 16, 2025, is Cassie's last day, and Danny Kane star testify. So that will be Don Richard, okay? Cassie concluded her emotional testimony in Diddy's trafficking trial, detailing alleged beatings and ours during their decade-long relationship. Using Cassie's text to Diddy, the defense portrayed her as a willing participant in freak off marathons, highlighting texts where she expressed willingness, though Cassie clarified her emotional reluctance. So, what they're saying is the defense has evidence of text messages of Cassie, and she is appearing in these messages to be a willing participant, okay? Allegedly. Cassie also revealed Combs purchased the rights to her book, The Dark Times, for $20 million, and that she recently reached an estimated $10 million settlement with the Los Angeles hotel where security camera in 2016 shows her being beaten by Diddy. So let's pause here. She's testifying that Sean Combs and her reached an agreement where he purchased the rights to her book. Is titled The Dark Times, and that was for $20 million. Okay. And that she also reached a separate settlement with the Los Angeles hotel involving that video that was released. And that settlement was $10 million. Okay. Let me show them another picture. Okay. Next, Don Richard. I don't know if you guys remember her. She was from the girl group Danity Kane. So let's see if I can get a picture of Miss Richard up. Trying to get her by herself and not with her group members. Yeah, I would like the close up, more of a close up picture. I think that's better. Okay, so I'm going to share this screen for a little bit as I talk about Mrs. Richard. Okay. Don Richard, a singer who competed in Diddy's reality show, Making the Band, took the stand and testified about witnessing Diddy hit Cassie on the head and beat her on the ground during a 2019 visit to his home recording studio. So that was the testimony on day 9, May 16th, okay? Now we're going to go on to day 10, okay? That's May 19th, 2025. We have evidence photos released. So let's go and see some of these evidence photos. Okay, so let me just put a banner up. If you have a hard time listening to this type of content, this is just my viewer discretion warning to you that these videos or this information is going to contain some graphic pictures now of abuse. Okay, these are pictures of Mrs. Ventura. Okay, so I just want you to know that if you're not able to handle looking at these type of graphic pictures of abuse, then you can click off now, and thank you for checking out this video. Okay, so testimony continued with two women providing accounts of Diddy's physical violence supported by incriminating evidence photos from a federal raid on his Manhattan hotel room. So let me show you that. Let me go up. Okay. So this appears to be baby oil. I'm not sure what's in that picture. The photos reveal a Louis Vuitton bag nicknamed the med bag. I believe they're referring to this, okay, containing drugs, baby oil, pills, and pink powder. I see baby oil here, but I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay, so let me scroll down a little bit so we can go back to these pictures that are down here. So that's some more baby oil pictures. I guess this is the pink powder. This is possibly the medication, and then possibly, illicit drugs. I'm not sure. Prosecutors also released photos of Cassie's injury. So that's what we were looking at initially. So let's go back up to them or down to them. Okay. You can see some bruising here on the thigh. You can see a little bruising here, here. These appear to be older bruises. Her skin is a little dark in here. You can see a cut where her eyebrow is. Okay. So prosecutors also released photos of Cassie injuries from alleged abuse, including a gash on her eyebrow that had become a permanent scar. Danny Kane's singer Don Richard testified about witnessing Combs' abuse of Cassie, saying she once saw Diddy swing a skillet at his former girlfriend. Richard also claimed Diddy threatened her with death, telling her she could go missing if she ever told anyone about his abuse. Cassie's former best friend, Carrie Morgan, also took the stand, recounting being beaten with a wooden hanger and offered $30,000 to sign an NDA. The day, excuse me, concluded with Combs's former personal assistant testifying about his demanding work schedule. Okay, so that is day 9. Yeah, a lot going on day 9. No, I'm sorry, that was day 10. My apologies. May 19th, day 10. Okay, so now we're gonna move forward. Okay. Now we're on day 11th. It's May 20th, 2025. This is the day where the Punisher, Cassie's mom, on the stand. Okay. Regina Ventura testified that she took out a $20,000 home equity loan in 2011 to prevent Combs from releasing a explicit video of Cassie, making her first awareness of Cassie's abuse. She advised Cassie to document her bruises and injuries. So I'm going to say allegedly. So Cassie's mom is saying that she obtained a $20,000 home equity loan to prevent Mr. Combs from releasing an explicit video of Cassie. Now, Cassie's talking to her mom and she's disclosing that there is some abuse going on and that this threat of releasing this video, and mom goes to obtain a loan so that that doesn't happen. And then there is some advice to Cassie that she start taking, documenting the injuries and the bruises that she has. Um, okay. Now, next is a male S worker, Sheree Hayes, a prosecution witness, unexpectedly aided the defense by stating he had sex with Cassie 8 to 15 times, mostly unprotected, and noted that neither Cassie nor Combs seemed high or drunk. So, again, we know that the allegation is that this was done under threat and that these were fueled with drugs. And he's testifying that no, this occurred between 8 and 15 times, and they did not seem to be, on drugs. Okay. Hayes, also known as the Punisher, claimed Cassie appeared to enjoy the encounters, though he was not asked back after performance issues. Okay. Homeland Security Special Agent Gerard Gannon provided new insights into the raid of Diddy's Miami Beach mansion. Scroll up a little bit. Involving 80 to 95 agents. In Combs' main bedroom, they discovered numerous parts of 7-inch high heels. Excuse me, they discovered numerous pairs of 7-inch high heels, lingerie, and parts for two AR-15 assault rifles. So, when the two raids happened, if you guys can recall, I did a video and I talked about the raids being done simultaneously. That's to really ensure that no evidence is destroyed and that one state and one property in one state would not contact the other property in a different state and say, hey, we're getting raided, destroy the evidence. Fascinating video. Check out the playlist for Hidden Horror under Sean Combs on YouTube. Great video. Okay, so that wrapped up day 11. That was May 20th. So now we're going to go to May 12th. Okay. Excuse me, day 12, May 21st. Okay. There's a psychologist and a former assistant that's going to testify. Okay, so let's see if we have that going. Testimony on day 12 of the Diddy trial featured Dr. Don Hughes, a clinical and a forensic psychologist, explained the complexities of abusive relationships, including love and trauma bonding, coping mechanisms, and memory. So I guess they're trying to have an expert take the stand that's going to explain in detail why does someone stay with someone that is being abusive to them, hurting them, causing them bruising, injuries. Why would someone stay with them? Why wouldn't they leave? Why wouldn't they get away? Why wouldn't they end the relationship? Why wouldn't they stop taking the call, stop showing up, stop going on dates? Don't take any gifts. Separate, leave the relationship, end the relationship. Why does one stay, okay, in an abusive relationship? Okay, Dr. Hughes paid $6,000 per day for her testimony, highlighted how victims may stay with abusive partners due to emotional bonds and use substances to numb their pain. Dr. Hughes has previously testified in high profile cases involving Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, R. Kelly, and NXIVM founder Keith Raniere. Later, George Kaplan, Diddy's former assistant, testified about cleaning his hotel rooms, often finding items like baby oil, Astroglide, I don't even know what Astroglide is, candles, and liquor. He described disposing of empty bottles and a powdery substance to maintain Combs' image and recounted being instructed to purchase drugs twice using cash provided by Combs. So, what would it be like to be Mr. Combs' assistant, to clean behind these various people, um, these hotel rooms where activity is happening? That would be a hard job. That would be pretty hard to clean up after these activities. Okay, but that was his job. Okay, let's move on. So we're going to go on. We're at day 13, May 22, 2025, and Kid Cudi enters the picture. Okay, so I want to just lay the foundation for this a little bit. Allegedly, Cassie Ventura was talking to, possibly dating Kid Cudi, and that this allegedly upset Mr. Combs, and that from that information, there allegedly was a threat made to harm Kid Cudi, okay? That's what I know. Okay, so let's get to day 13, May 22nd. I'm gonna scroll up. So you have some other pictures going on, okay? Rapper Kid Cudi testified that Diddy broke into his home in 2011 after discovering Cudi was dating Cassie and later suspected Combs was behind the firebombing of his car. Well, that's scary business there. All off of somebody dating someone that you used to be with or liked. That's scary. That's very controlling too, if it's true. I'll say allegedly. Cuddy described meeting Combs to discuss the incident, but Combs denied involvement, though he apologized years later. So when Cuddy does, you know, try to discuss this incident with Combs, he denies it. He says, I wasn't involved. But then years later, he apologizes for it, I guess. During cross examination, Combs' lawyer suggested Cassie was living a double life, maintaining relationships with both Combs and Cuddy. Does that really matter? Because if you're both having intimacy with other people, is that the boundary or can you both date other people? I don't know. I don't know what the boundary is. But clearly, it seemed like they both were dating other people at the same time that they were together in this 10-year relationship. Additional testimony from Combs' former assistant and a makeup artist detailed instances of Combs' alleged abuse towards Cassie, including physical violence witnessed on a private jet and at a hotel. So there's some type of makeup artist, and she's alleging that there was abuse from Sean Combs to Cassie on a private jet and at a hotel. Okay, so that was day 13. That was May 22nd, 2025. We're going to go to day 14 now. Okay, and that's Sean Combs' ex-assistant, Capricorn. I do know that. Miss Capricorn Clark. So day 14th, which was May 27, 2025, former aide Capricorn Clark testifies. So she was his assistant for a lot of years, so she knows a lot of information. They have a little thing like, where they hide the bodies, they know a lot of information. So she may know a lot of information and about Mr. Combs and his activity and things that he did and, his mindset, okay? On the stand, former Diddy aide Capricorn Clark described her dedication to her boss. Even as she witnessed him abuse Cassie, she recalled one incident where Diddy threatened to F her up if she tried to intervene as he kicked Cassie. Wow, like, do not help this lady. I'm going to do this and don't get involved. Wow, that's scary. Clark said she was involved in the alleged Kid Cudi home invasion and faced Combs' anger for not disclosing Cassie's relationship with Cudi. So she's saying that I knew about the relationship, but I wasn't going to tell Sean because you probably think that he may be upset, right? So I'm not going to say anything, but she said she was involved in the home invasion. Wow. So people were afraid. They didn't want to face his wrath allegedly, okay? After being fired by Combs in 2012 following the Kid Cudi incident, Clark said she experienced significant financial hardship, losing her home, car, and income, and was blacklisted from the industry. Under cross-examination by Combs' lawyer, however, Clark struggled to recall key accusations, such as witnessing Combs with a gun. So she's saying that after she was fired by Sean Combs in 2012. And this was following the Kid Cudi incident. Maybe Mr. Combs felt like he couldn't trust her anymore because if you're not telling me what's going on, you're not being my eyes and ears, you're not useful to me, and I'm paying you a salary, you work for me, your allegiance is to me, okay? Allegedly, that's what I'm guessing though, okay? But after Mrs. Clark was fired, she just experienced a lot of hardship. She lost her house, her house, she lost her car, and she felt that she was blacklisted, that she couldn't leave Mr. Combs and go back into the industry and work somewhere and obtain another assistant job with someone else. Even she had this high profile client for many years. She felt like she was blacklisted, which is unfortunate. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up here for today. I like that these are shorter videos, where it's not so heavy. We can just talk a little bit and go over some of the witnesses and then come back and do it again. Okay, so we did in the first video days 1 through 7. Today we did days 8 through 14. In the next video, we'll cover, what would that be? 15 through 21. Okay, so we'll do next time days 15 through 21. Please let me know if this works for you. It's working for me. I'm not getting upset or frustrated by talking about some of this just very vulgar activity. I don't like to do that. I don't like to have that on my mind. So I like it this way. As I said before, I am interested in that little investigation that the BBC did where they sat down with at least 20 of Mr. Combs's former people that knew him, worked for him, and they're going to have some interesting things to say. So I'm going to put that together also and bring that. And then we're going to meet again for days 15 through 21. Okay. So thanks for spending this time with me. I really, really appreciate it. Please stay smart, stay safe, stay savvy, be well, all my friends. Bye, everybody.